It's a beautiful Bacon Day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we are continuing the Nuzlock challenge. Now, since we got to World 7-1 before with Pumpkin Pie, we are going halfway back into World 6. So we'll be picking up at 6-15. And we're going to actually skip this one just because it is a high stamina one, so we will go one ahead to 6-16. And so we are going to change out. And there was a vote between Éclair and Strawberry Crepe. Now, Strawberry Crepe, I think, is going to have a lot more capability to survive since Strawberry Crepe has the damage resistance skill. So today I'm going to actually choose Éclair first. But if I get no other votes for other cookies, I may be moving to Strawberry Crepe next. So we will be moving away from Pumpkin Pie and going to Éclair. And I'm going to change the treasure from scroll to robes. I'm going to see if attack speed is going to be doing anything helpful for us, or if us missing the scroll is going to be super detrimental. So let's go ahead and start. Éclair versus 6-16. And every time we cast weakness on something and kill it, we get the shield. So that should be very helpful to us. But no healing. So we still don't have the capability to heal. And you can already see that we're actually taking quite a considerable amount of damage moving from the start of the wave through. We will get this little boost here, so that's going to help. And then we get those shields, which, yet again, will be very helpful. But overall, Éclair has taken some pretty heavy hits. So Pumpkin Pie was definitely a much better candidate for getting through these waves, at least by our initial looks. And it looks like Éclair will scathe through, but we've lost almost half our health. So that's pretty interesting. I do have to wonder if we will actually even make it all the way to 7-1 with Éclair. Now, in fairness, the robes can make that difference. Maybe it would have been different if we ran the scroll, but it's okay because what's important is getting through the waves. If we run scroll on everybody, that really doesn't give a good, proper comparison of other potential combinations. And another thing that at least personally bothers me is that everyone always uses scroll for every single build, no matter what it is. I understand scroll is super powerful. It gives the attack bonus, which in turn also gives a healing bonus to healers. But I really want to start experimenting with other combinations because I feel like that there's some we're missing and we're not considering just because we're always assuming that having a higher attack means better guarantee of victory. So that's something I have to keep working with and something I will work with. But for right now, as the meta dictates, scroll's the most powerful treasure. It's probably why it's so hard to get in the treasure gacha. So maybe Dev Sisters agrees with that. Maybe it isn't outclassed just yet, but it will be something that has to be looked at and we'll have to consider more down the road. Alright, so we are on to 6-18, which I can't do because I did today for some missions I was doing, so we're going to move on to 6-20. I'm skipping for the rest of the series all these super high stamina battles because they're not going to be really different than the other battles, and most of the time they're going to have the bonus buffs of either the speed boosts or the healing items. So we're going to go ahead and change that rule from here on out. That way it's easier if we have to go through the challenge and the levels a lot further, and we shouldn't be seeing a drastic difference between 6-19 and 6-20 that would really change the outcome of our battles. And so here we are in 6-20. We're still surviving. we're still doing enough damage to persist through the waves. That shield is very helpful. We're not getting it all the time because the weakness can only be cast so often, but we're at least getting it. I do have the attack toppings on Éclair at the moment, so that is giving us a little bit more survivability. And I should show that before I go to the next battle. So on 6-21, if I go here and show the toppings, this is the current substats on Éclair. The 20.6% damage resist and the 2.3% defense is going to give us a little bit of help in the mode overall than if we were running nothing. But seeing as the attack scroll is off, it's okay that we have those toppings. Kind of balances out in a way. So let's go to 6-21 and let's see what we get. So the reason I did choose robes this time is that Éclair has a pretty slow animation. I'm sure you've seen that before, but the attack robes increases that animation speed. Now, I don't have the exact number yet. It's something I still have to put research into. But you can see that that attack speed is overall increasing how fast that animation kicks up. And so, what's important about that is that we take less time getting hit by these enemies because our animation is playing faster. We are dealing more damage because we are doing quicker attack animations too. And our skill is firing off quicker, which means we can cool down sooner, seeing as it doesn't have to take 1 to 2 seconds longer to do the entire skill. Now, I don't have the exact time details of each animation, especially of Éclair, but it is something I do plan to research, and I find it interesting what could be the potential for the animations overall. So we will see in the future what we can find and how to best optimize it and utilize it to your benefit. We are surprisingly doing better in the later stages than we were in the earlier ones. And I do believe that's because the earlier ones were more focused on poison and direct shots, where the later waves here seem to be very focused on the stun and beam attacks, which is more to kind of push through defensive setups rather than just direct damage to the cookie itself. And so, as you can see, we're actually surviving better in these later waves for that reason. So I do now think, because of the different enemies in the later part of the match, I think we'll have a better chance of getting to 7-1, as we're on 6-22 right now. So, let us get to 6-23. That's a big battle, so we're going to skip to 6-24 and check our results. Let's see what we get. Alright. Doing that damage, doing good. Speedily moving. I wish that the robes adjusted movement speed too. That would be a very interesting thing, but there's only a few cookies. I think 2 that specifically affect movement speed. I know Devil Cookie's one, but I do believe there is another. Let me check my sheet. Movement speed. Move speed. Move speed. What do I have listed under Devil Cookie? MOV. Move speed. Sorry, multitasking here. 6-25 I did because of the criticals. We'll move on to 6-26. Yep, so it looks like Devil Cookie is the only one that affects move speed right now. Move speed's a very particular thing. Obviously, it affects how fast your cookies move. And in most cases, that's not going to be something that's terribly effective. And that's why Devil Cookie was, I believe, made a rare cookie. But one thing I could see being interesting with move speed is that Purple Yam and a few other cookies have a knockback feature. So if they knock back the opponents and the movement speed is kicked down, I think that there is a chance that the cookies might not be in range to use their skill, whether they are ready to use the skill or not. Because if you're targeting something, you need to be within range. It's kind of like, as we're going through these waves, you can see that we need to be at a certain point in the wave before we're allowed to target. It's how even if you take auto off and you go to use a skill, it doesn't do something unless it has a target. And I can actually show you that right here. If I take it off auto right here, and I wait and just go through, and go through, and go through, and beat that out, and I try to use it, I'm clicking it, nothing happens. Not until I get to a very specific point. And so that could be an interesting thing with Devil Cookie. He's someone I want to level all the cookies up to level 60 and test out their maximum capabilities as paired in teams. But that is something that could be an interesting thing. Because Frost Queen, we use Frost Queen right now to slow down and stop skill movements. But I don't think any of us, not even myself, has considered before, until now because of attack speed, how movement speed and range of a cookie may take into effect the ability to do an attack. Now, of course, Purple Yam, if he's applying the knockback, then he's going to be in range of the attack, but that means your other cookies are going to be safe too. And it's also, I guess, a consideration and a question. If you knock the enemy team back, does your team stay or do they go up with them? Because if they stay, it's something different. But if they go, then that's a different question. Alright, so we've beaten all except the boss. We will do boss levels. It's only fair to do the boss level. We have to abide at least by that rule. So we will go ahead and fight the boss level and see if Éclair can beat that. But there is a healing section here, so that's kind of in our benefit, no matter how bad the enemies are here. And Éclair has already been proven in guild battle good against bosses, so I don't think that Éclair is going to struggle here, but it'll be good to find out. We've had a couple matches where we almost have perished. Might as well collect some of the good coins while I'm here. Alright. Let's see if our skills cool down just enough by the time we get to the boss. Looks like it's going to be. And let's see if we get a chance to actually take it out. Oh, the minions steal the skill. That could be problematic. We get some stun. We are getting some zap. Nope, we still take it out. Wasn't hard enough, but that's okay. So, Pumpkin Pie versus Éclair. Éclair has gotten at least to the same point as Pumpkin Pie so far. So we will see if 7-1 is achievable for Éclair. Let's try it out. And as you can see, it's showing the death thing there last time because that's where Pumpkin Pie died the last time. And we are definitely taking a considerable amount more of damage this time. So it's going to be close, but those shields are giving us some help. And we're getting a lot of pushback here. So we clear that wave, but now we're at that same spot the Pumpkin Pie perished. I think we're going to get hit up by too many enemies here. Even though the shields did help us there. Yep, we are going to perish. So, here's the question. Will pumpkin pie and Éclair be beaten out by strawberry crepe the next time we test this? That's the question, because neither of them could get past 7-1. So we'll have to move it back for strawberry crepe and see how she handles, unless we get votes for someone else. And just let me know in the comments who you want to see as the next Nuzlock challenge. But if I don't get any votes, I will send strawberry crepe next, as that was the other one voted on the last video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.